and welcome to my channel. The wind just started blowing out here on the porch, so we have some nice wind chimes in the background. My name is Maggie, and I am a certified holistic health practitioner, and I've always wanted to make YouTube videos and talk about stuff that I think about, but I've never gotten around to it until today. And I figured, why not start off by talking about something controversial? No, but this might be a very controversial video because I want to talk about birth control. And I want to talk about my experience with birth control. I also want to talk about what is birth control, also known as the pill. What is the pill? And what are some things that you're not told by your doctor when they're prescribing you the pill? And I simply wanted to make this video just because I felt like when I was first put on the pill, I wasn't informed about exactly what it was or what it could possibly do to my body. So I just felt very misinformed, and at this point my life kind of misled because I put my trust in my healthcare professional, and they kind of left out really important information, which they tend to do a lot, but we're going to push that to the side. I'd also like to mention before we get into everything that I am not a doctor. I'm not telling you to stop taking the pill. I'm not giving you any recommendations that will change your health in any way. Simply sharing my thoughts on the birth control pill and my personal experience. So I first wanted to talk about what is the pill, or what is the birth control pill, what is oral contraceptive. So the birth control pill is actually a pill with synthetic hormones. So it has synthetic progesterone and estrogen in it to manipulate a woman's cycle so that she will not get pregnant. Really what it does is it stops you from releasing an egg, or it stops the ovulation. And the pill was actually discovered / created in 1950 by a woman, and I don't remember her name. And then it was approved by the FDA in 1960 and actually put out there for women to be able to prevent pregnancy. And at the time when it was first put out, it was very empowering for women to have this decision oh, I can take a pill to decide whether I get pregnant or not. It was really putting power of their body in their hands, and at the time it was very liberating, and it was amazing. It was a big part of social change, I'd say. It was the birth control pill. And then in 1980 things changed a little bit. So you started being able to market pharmaceuticals to consumers, direct consumer marketing. And what this means is that you could, I'm sure you've all seen the ads for birth control pills or mental health pharmaceuticals and things like that on the TV. So this actually became a thing in 1980. And when we started marketing these birth control pills directly to the consumer, more women were coming to get the birth control pill. And that's when things kind of shifted from being simply pregnancy prevention to more of a lifestyle drug. And what I mean by lifestyle is people started getting prescribed the birth control pill, or they wanted to be prescribed the birth control pill to change or to make their life more comfortable. So women started being prescribed for the birth control pill for uncomfortable periods, heavy bleeding, acne, hormone imbalance in general, bad PMS. And the most interesting is they would be prescribed the birth control pill to regulate their period. But the birth control does not regulate your period at all. It actually stops your period completely. But we'll put that aside as well. So that's a little bit of history about the birth control pill. And actually, of the women that are prescribed the birth control nowadays, well, there was a study in 2011 that said out of all of the women that are prescribed the birth control pill, 14% of them, which is 1.5 million women, are prescribed it simply as a lifestyle drug or to change and make their lives more comfortable, not to prevent pregnancy. So there's a lot of misinformation and about birth control out there, and there's some things that your doctor may not tell you when they're prescribing you birth control, and that's some of the side effects. So some of the side effects of birth control are potential anxiety and depression. You may lose your period. You may create a really imbalanced hormones. Your hormones may go way out of whack. You may experience infertility, and the birth control pill is actually a low-level carcinogen, and that is something that was studied and concluded by the World Health Organization. So by taking the birth control pill, you're more likely to be exposed to cancer, which is not super fun to think about, but also something you're not told. So women, they'll start taking the birth control pill for, say, acne when they're 14, or to regulate their period when they're really young, and they'll continue to take it forever until they meet the love of their lives and they're like, oh, it's time to have a baby. And then you stop taking the pill. And when women stop taking the pill, they think, oh, I'm going to be able to get pregnant right away. Well, because you've been taking these sort of synthetic hormones for so long, it actually throws the rest of your hormones out of balance, and your body kind of forgets how to do what it's supposed to do. So a lot of women stop taking the pill and then come to find out they are not able to get pregnant. Their ovaries aren't releasing an egg. Their bodies don't know how to ovulate. And I have heard of some women that actually stop taking the pill and continue to not get a period, which is crazy to think about, because we're not told when we get prescribed the birth control pill that this is going to drastically alter our body. But I'd like to remind you, or just tell you, I've never said it to anyone before, but hormones are chemical messengers that tell our body to do certain things. So when our hormones are out of balance, our body doesn't really know how to function normally. And we don't really think about it a lot, but hormones play a huge role in just overall homeostasis of our body, and especially as females with a monthly cycle, our hormones are consistent or continually fluctuating. So some hormones will increase, some hormones will decrease, and every hormone affects every other hormone. So it's this beautiful symphony of hormones working in our body to just maintain homeostasis and survive. But really, as females, our bodies want to reproduce. So with our hormones in balance like that, we're more likely to be able to reproduce. But when they're out of balance, we're most likely going to be infertile, or our bodies aren't really going to want to reproduce. So that's like a little bit of background about hormones and just how taking the birth control can affect you. And my personal experience with the birth control pill, I never took it for an extended period of time. I mean, the longest I ever took it was 2 years. And I took it when I was younger for a period of time, and I stopped, and then I started taking it again later, not as a young adult, but just later teen years. And on the pill, I did experience extreme anxiety and depression, and it was really bad. I'd never experienced such bad anxiety, but I would literally have panic attacks and not be able to breathe, and it was really uncomfortable. So I of course talked to my doctor about what I was experiencing, and they simply prescribed me a low estrogen birth control pill. Still don't have any idea what that is or what that means. I'm guessing it was just a lower hormonal dose of the birth control pill. So a lot of us aren't really aware of some of these things that can happen when we take birth control, and I really just want to inform other women that this might not be the best way to prevent pregnancy, which is what it was intended to do originally, but it is also not the best way to, say, stop your cystic acne or prevent really awful PMS or heavy bleeding or regulate your period. I believe at this point that the best way to make your life more comfortable, which is what you would do with like a lifestyle drug, which is how some people are using the birth control pill, but to make your life more comfortable, if first you have to address like the foundational aspects of your life, and one of the pieces of that foundation is diet. So we can actually get rid of our acne by changing our diet. We can balance our hormones by addressing our diet directly. So there are other ways to make our lives more comfortable, and maybe I'll talk about that in another video. But birth control is not the way. The side effects far outweigh the benefits of taking birth control. So I do not recommend it at all, personally. And then in terms of preventing pregnancy, there are other methods that you can use to prevent pregnancy from happening, and they're more natural, and some of them, like, I personally use. So first of all, you could always use a condom. I know some people feel weird about condoms, but there are a lot of really awesome natural options out there nowadays. I'm trying to think of the ones that I use currently. They're the Sustain brand, and you can find them at like Whole Foods. But they are more natural, and there's nothing synthetic in there, and I really like that because it's going inside of my body. You can also purchase a cervical cap, which is extremely outdated, but a lot of women health advocates want to see them being used more because they are very effective. And you could also use the withdrawal method, or just like pulling out. So those are some of the ways you can prevent pregnancy. But one that is shown to be very accurate is the fertility awareness method. And essentially what you're doing with the fertility awareness method, also known as FAM or FAM, is you are tracking your cycle using your basal body temperature. Because at different stages in your cycle, your body temperature is going to fluctuate. So by tracking your temperature throughout the month, you can actually see when you're fertile and when you're not fertile, and you can use tons of period tracking apps to log that and write that down so that you can see your cycle, which is really, really awesome. But that is everything that I really wanted to talk about in regards to the birth control pill, just some of my thoughts on it. And I hope that you found this video informative or helpful on your health journey. I definitely plan on putting up some more videos shortly, but that is all for today. So thank you for watching, and if you would like to see more women health information or just more stuff from me, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.